Everybody either roasts or fries a turkey for Thanksgiving. Well, it's time to impress your mother-in-law with an amazing smoked turkey. Stay with me and I'm going to be walking you through the steps to smoking a moist and juicy bird over charcoal. And I'm going to be smoking that turkey on my Kamado Joe. Hello and welcome to Grillin' and Chillin' with Coleman. Today in the GNC kitchen, we're going to be doing something a little different for Thanksgiving. This year, I'm going to smoke our 13-pound turkey on our Kamado Joe. Now, I picked up this turkey at the local grocery store, and it's been thawing in the refrigerator for a few days. Now, it's real important that you make sure it's completely thawed before you start prepping it. Now, this entire process I'm going to be showing you today, you can also do it on a whole chicken. It's just that the brining and the smoking length of time will be a lot shorter. I've already taken the turkey out of the wrapper and removed all the surprises from the inside. And by surprises, I mean the neck and the giblets that are on the inside. But don't throw those away. We're going to be using them a little later. Also, if your turkey has one of those little done buttons, go ahead and remove it also. I also like to give it a rinse in some cool water before I start trimming it. If your turkey comes with one of those leg straps, go ahead and remove it, and we're going to be trussing up these legs a little bit later. Also, some birds, like this one, have the legs tucked into an extra flap of skin here. Go ahead and untuck them, and then we're going to cut off that extra skin down here at the end. We're not going to be needing it, but don't cut off the parson's tail. We're going to leave that in there. Also, check to see if there's any feathers that might have been missed. It doesn't happen often, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Now it's ready to be brined. Now, I like to brine all of my poultry before I grill it. It really helps keep that white meat moist. What I'm going to add to the pot today is 1 gallon of water, 1.5 cups of kosher salt, 1/2 cup of peppercorn, 2 cups of brown sugar, 1/2 cup of Frank's hot sauce, and 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce. Heat it all up over low heat until everything is dissolved. Remove it from the heat and add 1 gallon of ice to help chill it. If you don't have any ice, add another gallon of cool water and just put it in the fridge to chill. It's important to make sure your brine is chilled before you add the turkey to avoid bacteria growth. I like mine down to about 40 degrees before I add the bird. Now that the brine is chilled, it's now ready for the turkey. You can use a 5-gallon bucket to brine that turkey in, but you're going to have enough room in your refrigerator to store it overnight and keep it cool. Now, you can use a stock pot, but I prefer to use an ice chest for that. The key is to keep that turkey cool for the entire time it's in the brine. Now, I brine my poultry for about an hour per pound of bird. So with a 13-pound turkey, it's going to need to brine for about 13 hours. But never let it brine for more than 2 hours per pound. The turkey goes in the ice chest first, then the brine. It's important to make sure that the turkey is completely covered with the liquid. If you need to, you can put a clean brick inside of a Ziploc bag and put it on top of the turkey to weigh it down. If you need more liquid to cover it, just add more chilled water or ice. When I'm brining a chicken or a smaller turkey, I like to use a brine bucket. This one has a lid that keeps the bird submerged in the brine the entire time. Now, I'll put a link below to the one that I use for chicken. They also make a larger one for turkeys, but I don't grill enough whole turkeys to justify buying one yet. I'm going to check on the temperature in the ice chest in a few hours and make sure it's cool enough. If it's not, I'll need to add a little bit more ice. Our turkey has been brining for about 13 hours, so let's go ahead and get the grill ready. I'm going to be smoking this turkey today at 350 degrees for about 3 hours over indirect heat. To do that on my Kamado Joe, I'm going to be placing the deflector plates in the lowest position. Now, if you're using a charcoal grill, push all the coals to one side and smoke that turkey on the other side of the grill. Let's go ahead and light up this lump charcoal. As I've said before, I prefer to light my charcoal with a propane flamethrower. I put a link below to the one that I use. Please do not use lighter fluid in any of your grills. It will just leave a bad flavor in your food. After it's lit, I keep the lid open for about 10 minutes. For smoke wood today, I chose apple. It'll pair up nicely with the rub that we're going to be making later. 1 or 2 chunks will be plenty for this cook. Let it ignite and smoke for about 10 minutes before putting the bird on the grill. Now let's go take our turkey out of the brine and get it ready for the grill. It's important to rinse off all the brine and spices, as we will be adding additional flavor before it goes on the grill. Then take a paper towel and dry it off well. The next step is to prepare the injection. Now it's important to inject at least the breasts on the bird to help keep it moist, but I prefer to inject both the light and the dark meat. This is what I add to mine. 1/2 cup of chicken broth, 2 sticks of melted butter, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of finely ground black pepper, and 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. Another trick I do when I'm injecting poultry is I do not poke holes in the skin, so I separate the skin from the meat right on the breast. To do this, start at the back and slide your fingers between the skin and the meat. Do this very carefully as to not tear the skin. Work your way from the bottom to the top of the bird. Then when you inject the bird, lift the skin and inject it directly into the meat. I work in a pattern starting in the neck area, injecting about every inch. As you inject, pull the needle out slowly and watch it plump up. Then insert it in another spot and repeat the process. When injecting the thighs and drumsticks, just stick the needle through the skin and inject it. Now that our bird is injected, let's go ahead and put together our rub. Now this is a very aromatic and savory rub, and it's going to be amazing for Thanksgiving. If you're wanting a different flavor profile, use your favorite rub like clucker dust. In a blender, I add 1/2 cup of fresh parsley, 1/2 cup of fresh sage, 1/2 cup of fresh rosemary, 1/2 cup of fresh thyme, 2 tablespoons of kosher salt, and 2 tablespoons of ground pepper. 2 sticks of unsalted softened butter, then blend it till it's smooth. Start off by applying the rub to the turkey breast under the skin. When you get a good coating under the skin, then apply a good coating over the skin to the entire bird, making sure to cover all areas. Don't use all the rub now. We're going to be using about half of it for basting the turkey later. And lastly, I'm going to stuff the turkey with a quartered onion, a quartered apple, and 10 cloves of garlic. And lastly, I'm going to tie up the drumsticks with some butcher's twine to help keep everything inside. This will also help the turkey cook more evenly. Now it's ready for the grill. The last thing I do before I put the turkey on the grill is I prepare a drip pan. Now I'm going to use the contents of this drip pan later to make some gravy. What I have in here is 1 chopped onion, 1 cup of chopped celery, 1 cup of chopped carrots. I also put the neck and the giblets from the turkey that I pulled out yesterday. And then the last thing I put in is 4 cups of chicken broth. That'll go underneath the turkey as I grill it. To finish getting the grill ready, place the heat deflectors in the lowest position. Then place the accessory rack above the deflector plates. The drip pan we prepared will go right on top of this rack. And lastly, the grill grates go in the highest position. Now place the turkey breast up on the grates over the drip pan. As I mentioned before, I'm going to be using my CyberQ Cloud to monitor the temperature. I like to put one probe in the thickest part of the breast and the other one in the thigh area. Our target temperature is 160 degrees in the breast and 170 in the thigh. If you don't have a monitor, you can just check it every so often with an instant read thermometer. Now let's leave this bird alone and let it soak up some of that charcoal love. I'll be checking on it in about an hour for color and to baste it a little. All right, our turkey has been smoking for about an hour now, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. It's starting to take on a nice color and the rub is melted in nicely. The skin has started to dry out a little, so I'm going to go ahead and baste it a little. Now I melted down some of that leftover rub we made earlier, so let's give it a good coating. The temperature on our bird right now is about 120 degrees in the breast and 130 in the thigh, so it's doing real well. I'm gonna close it back up and baste it again in about an hour. We'll check back with you when it's time to take this bird off the grill. Our turkey has now hit the target temperature in both areas, so it's time to take it off the grill to rest. Wow, look at that color. I really wish you guys could smell this. Wow. The basting we've been doing is really giving this turkey a nice glaze. Time to pull it off the heat. Once the turkey is off the grill, we need to let it rest for about 30 minutes. While it's resting, tin it with a sheet of foil to hold in the heat. I wish you could smell the aroma coming off of this turkey, and the color is just beautiful. It is so juicy, it's running all over the cutting board here. But before we cut into this turkey, let's review what we did. First, we made and brined our turkey for 13 hours. After brining, we got our grill ready and mixed up and injected our bird. Next, we made up some of our savory rub and covered the turkey both under and over the skin. Then we stuffed it and got it on the grill over the drip pan. And while it smoked at 350 degrees, we basted it every hour until it came up to temperature. Then it was time to come off the grill and rest. The glaze is just amazing. Man, the color of this turkey is just gorgeous. Man, I gotta cut into this thing. Take a slice right here on the side. The white meat is my favorite. There's a piece for me right there. Man, look how juicy that is. You guys are missing out. I might have to make these more often. This has got to be one of the best turkeys I've ever smoked. Man, you follow these tips and you won't be disappointed. Man, this is delicious. I hope you were able to get some great ideas for smoking your turkey this Thanksgiving. Now, I guarantee your guests will be overjoyed when they taste what you've created. Remember, you can also use these tips I showed you today when you're smoking a whole chicken. Thank you again for joining me in the GNC Kitchen. If you like this video, here's a few more you might like. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram at Grillin' and Chillin' with Coleman. Also, please consider liking and subscribing here and click that bell. It'll let you know when I have new videos coming out. I always enjoy spending time with you in the GNC Kitchen and sharing my recipes. Now y'all go grill something.